Yeah, thanks for doing this stuff.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
I got to tell you, like, the best podcasts I've ever done have been in people's houses.
No shit.
Absolutely. 100%, man. Like, when I go and it's like a big fancy studio, it's like you're compensating for something. You go to somebody's house, you have a conversation. Tends to be, I think, a lot more,
All right, slate 1.
Interesting.
Slate 2.
For people. You know what I mean?
Slate 3.
Like, people like it's I don't know. I feel like the people that are listening, it's a more engaging conversation as opposed to like sitting in a studio and being like, official. Right?
Yeah. This is definitely not that.
Love it.
Fade in. Cut 2.
Exterior. Interior.
Restaurant?
Bar. Club.
Day.
Night.
Action. What's going on, everyone? Thank you for watching Restaurant Fiction, the show reviewing fictional restaurants, bars, and clubs in TV and film. My name is Monis Rose. Today we are bringing you the fictional food hall of sorts, onsen, Japanese bathhouse, Yubaba's bathhouse from the film Spirited Away. And our guest of honor is none other than celebrity chef Duff Goldman, aka Ace of Cakes, even though he hasn't really been the Ace of Cakes for many of years. I mean, we hold that name near and dear to our hearts. Duff Goldman. Duff Goldman is on. We met him back this last year in New York City doing a Food Network shoot. All right, so anyway, this is going to be a very powerful episode. Duff discusses the difference between teaching and being a mentor, and also he graced us with bringing a delectable sweet. So here is our review of Yubaba's Bathhouse, all things baking, all things Duff. Let's go. So, Restaurant Fiction guys, gals, we went to Japan, right? And I just want to break down Japan, that when you go to Japan, you want to go to a bathhouse. You want to go to an onsen. The ones that we pick, or the one that we picked, was Yubaba's bathhouse. That's right. Why? Why? It's because of the food. That's it. We smell the food even coming in. It's like this frozen in time food stall that you get. It's almost like a night market fare. You get this like greasy pork loin, chassis porks, and you get fish heads, and you get dumplings, but a lot more fried food. It's a frozen in time food stall. I don't really want to say it's Taiwanese night market, Japanese night market, but that's like the outside, and you just want to like gobble it all up. You want to gobble it all up. But the thing is, even with this food, tomato, if it's good or not, it's not really made with love. And then you go inside the bathhouse, and the bathhouse it serves almost like the spirit world. And in terms of the food, there you're getting the tempuras, you're getting the mochis, you're getting the candies, you're almost getting these gluttonous treats, which I understand. I understand that it's for everyone in a real diverse array of sorts, but once again, not made with love, not made with care. It's just like, here you go, have at it, be a fucking pig. Like that's really it. Now, where is the food? Where is the food? The food is actually in just a simple rice ball, because the rice ball, kind of like when you're in, say, real Japan, you go to, say, a Family Mart, you go to a Lawson's, you go to a 7-Eleven. I mean, and even at the most basic level, the rice ball is how you measure. The rice ball is good. And it not just gives you sustenance, especially when it's given to you by someone who cares about you, but loves you, that really wants you to succeed, not just on your journey, but in life. I mean, this rice ball, this like sticky yet delicate yet almost flavorful with just enough salt rice ball. It's more than just fuel. It's like that super unleaded that's going to just get you through so you can go to the next level on your growth.
Like that movie, it's just such a work of art. I mean, just the like where it starts, where it takes you, where it ends up. I mean, it is such a like it's just a fever dream of a journey, you know? I mean, it really the way that I watch it is as if I were asleep, because when you start to try to make any sense of that movie, like after you wake up and you're like, man, I had the weirdest dream, and it was like I was, you know, like in a pickle bath, and all of a sudden like a hippo showed up and he, you know, read to me Khalil Gibran, right? And you're just like, what? You know, you wake up, like that makes absolutely no sense. And like Spirited Away, kind of the same thing. It kind of doesn't make any sense, but it really, when you watch it as if you were asleep, as if you're dreaming, it just makes sense, right? Oh, now we're on a train in the middle of the water. And wait, now I'm at Ubalba. No, oh, no, that's her sister. Okay, got it. Oh, now we're learning. Okay, like, you know, it's just like you get these sort of revelations along the way. And I feel like it's, I don't know, man, that movie, when you suspend your logic, it's just glorious. That food in the market before they get to the bathhouse, I love to eat like that, right? Not like, but I like eating that style of food, right? That's my sort of happy place. I like street food. I like night markets. I like wet markets. I like really relatively dirty places. I don't know. I just like it. I like eating outside. I like watching other people eat. My wife gets mad at me because I watch people eat. And if we're out and people are eating, I'm always like, look at look at him eating that, you know, like, and it's not like creepy. It's just, I love seeing people enjoy themselves. It makes me happy to see somebody else eating. Just the spaghetti, man, is great, you know. And it's just like, yeah, it looks great. Look at you, you're loving it, you know. Like I love that. I love seeing it. I think that's why, you know, I'm good at cooking, is because I like seeing people enjoy things, and that's the way that I like to eat. Now I understand Sen's dad's enthusiasm, right? They get there and there is just piles of sausage and game hens and fried, you know, little bits and, you know, bowls of this and soup and steam and just smells just happening. And you see it all. You're just like, I want to eat all of this right now. I 100% understand where he was coming from, right? And then he's looking, there's nobody here. I'm in a market. There's nobody here. I'm not eating this food. There's nobody here, right? I'm gonna eat it. You know, maybe they're all, I don't know.
And
like,
it's fresh.
Yeah, they're doing calisthenics. It's like in a Little Washington, right? They're doing calisthenics before service or something. Who knows where they are? But there is all this food. It is hot. It is fresh. I am not letting this go to waste, because these egg rolls are not going to get any better in 5 minutes.
Inside, you have like the ghost face spirits, and I mean, just gobbling everything. You have the garbage spirit, the, you know, that also gobbles everything and then flushes it all out.
Yeah.
Like
He felt so good after that too, right? He was so like, oh man, thanks. I've had a couple of moments like that where you're just like, oh god, yeah, that feels better.
Oh boy. Oh boy. No, I mean, yeah, but what is that? By the way, I want to taste this. Taste.
Oh yeah.
Taste one with me. Let's break bread together.
Absolutely.
Really quick. Breaking bread. Restaurant fiction.
Cheers.
Cheers. Rachel, what are we having right now?
This is peanut butter halva with raisins.
And how did you put the love into this?
So when you are cooking sugar, sugar goes through many, many, many stages, right? There is, as it cooks, it goes through like the thread stage, it goes through the ball stage, and it goes through the crack stage. And all those stages is just describing the texture of that sugar once it cools down. So you cook sugar up to like 220 something, starts getting into the thread stage. And that's when you can sort of pull it and it just sort of keeps going and going and going. And that's how you make like cotton candy. Then you raise the temperature, and then it gets into the ball stage where when it cools down, you can actually mold it like silly putty, right? And it's sort of like this malleable chunk of stuff. Then you get it up to the crack stage, and the crack stage is like a lollipop or hard candy, things like that. But the cool thing about the crack stage is that when you take that and then you add it to some kind of fat, when you took that bite, did you get all those little crunch when you bite into it? It's like, so what happens is that crack stage, when you pour it into something fatty like peanut butter, it crystallizes, right? And then you mix it, right? It's almost like making ice cream, where like when you freeze water, ice is a crystal. So when you freeze water, if you just put a glass of water in your freezer, you get a big chunk of ice. If you freeze that same water while you're spinning it, it becomes slush, right? So when you're making ice cream, it's the same thing. If you don't spin it, it doesn't get creamy and smooth and delicious, right? It just becomes sort of a block of icy shards in your mouth. So the love here is when you are really in the moment and okay, like this sugar is very delicate. It can crystallize at any moment. You pour it into that fat and you're watching and watching. It's about 28 seconds that you mix it. So you pour the sugar in there and you mix and you mix and you're watching the timer and you're watching the peanut butter, watching the timer, watching the peanut butter, and making sure it looks exactly right. As soon as you're done, stop the mixer, get it out, put it in a pan, and leave it alone. Don't touch it. And that sort of presence comes from knowing that if I do this wrong, this halva would be dry. It would kind of get this like chalky sort of consistency. But if I don't do it long enough, it's just going to be a big messy goo, right? And that's, I think, where the love comes, is because there is a very specific texture that I want you to have when you bite into that. So it's tiny little sugar crystals that when you bite through that, this is creamy peanut butter, right? Creamy peanut butter is like velvet. When you fill it up with those sugar crystals, it really becomes a whole new thing. There you go.
God damn it, man. That was beautiful. Thank you. No,
sugar's incredible.
Like, it's not just like, here you go, right? I mean, like there was love in the rice ball, and when something like, just like this halva that you brought us, halva that you brought us, by the way, it's given with love. I'm sure this was made with love.
It was.
It was made with fucking love. I mean,
that's what I do. That's why. Yeah. It's. I tell you, man. It's like you hear. There's sometimes you'll hear a chef and people say, "Okay, well, what's your secret ingredient?" Right? And they'll be like, "Oh, my secret ingredient is love," and you can tell they're like totally not really being truthful. There are other times when a chef will tell you the secret ingredient is love, and you absolutely believe them because it's 100% true, right? There is a real ingredient of love that you put in something, and it is the craft of what you do. It is the articulation of a physical experience that you are crafting for somebody else. Like, okay, I take a bite of something and there's a little bit of crunch, and then it has a chew, and then, ooh, there's a surprise little nugget of that thing in there, right? That is the bite that I sort of had and enjoyed. And then to be able to take that bite and recreate it for somebody else, be like, I had this amazing thing and I want you to taste this. And then they taste it and they bite and they have that same experience that you do. They don't have to articulate it the way you do. I'm a chef. That's my job, right? My job is to give something to somebody else and be like, wow, that's delicious. They don't have to, think about the terroir and the textures and the techniques and all that stuff. They don't. You want somebody just to enjoy something. And I think that's what you're getting at. Like when you prepare something where you're like, I want you to have this and I want you to experience this and I want you to get to that emotional place that this thing made me feel. I hope this works. You know, that is making something with love. And I think that's the thing about that rice ball. It's very simple. It's, definitely seasoned, right? There's probably some rice vinegar in there. There's probably a little bit of sugar in there, maybe some mirin or something like that. Tiny bit of soy sauce. But that simple thing created with love obviously just has you just know. People just know. You don't have to be a gourmand to know when you taste somebody's like delicious pecan pie, right? Like, oh man, like you can tell, and I think it's something, it's very accessible too.
You really love mentoring and teaching.
Yeah.
Now where do you find though the balance? This is a new question of being a mentor versus a teacher, because like a mentor is just like, okay, fail and get back up. Like, you're good. You have that inner confidence, like that Yoda, whereas Luke Skywalker and Yoda's just sleeping, being like, yeah, fail and fail. Like I believe in you, but just fail. You're good. Like, oh, you're hurt. Okay, get back up. Like, I mean, how versus teaching and being like, okay, 350, like, don't get burned. A little more, maybe not hands-on, but yeah, a little more hands-on. Like, what's that balance of mentor versus teacher?
Yeah, teaching is like, all right, listen, there are, different protein contents in flour, right? And if you want a nice chewy bagel, you need like a 13% high gluten flour. And if you want, a good cake, you want an all-purpose, 11.5%. You're going to make, angel food cake or, fine pastries, you're going to want like, like a 9% flour. The reason why you want that is because the more protein, the beefier and more proteiny something is. So a bagel, it's got a lot of chew. If you get a croissant, you have to chew it like a bagel. It's not a very good croissant. If you get a bagel and it just kind of falls apart, it's not a very good bagel. So you need different kinds of flour. That's what teachers do, right? Teachers teach you those things. Like, this is the chemistry behind biting something that's made with flour. A mentor is more of, all right, I don't know.
Well, like,
here's the door. You got to walk through it, right? I'm gonna teach you, like, I'm gonna show you my enthusiasm for this thing, or whatever it is, my understanding, my wisdom, the satisfaction, whatever it is about this thing that I love. I'm gonna show that to you, and then it's your choice. You can see that and then understand that maybe this mentor is thinking about things on a much deeper level than I am. And I'm not if I'm the mentor is sort of showing you that there is a deep understanding of something that you're not at yet. And you're not going to get there for a long time. But that mentor is helping you to understand that there is a path that you need to walk if you want to get there. And I think that, like, that distinction, I think, is kind of personal for me, just because, like, we all go through those periods in our lives when we think we know everything, and you just don't, because you're a punk ass, and it takes a special kind of person to help you see your journey objectively, because that is really difficult to do when you're in your late teens, early 20s, right? You're like, oh no, I got this. The world is mine. It's like, hold on, take a breath, and there's a way that you want there. I know what you want. You think you need to get there this way, and I need to show you that there's another path that you need to take yourself. You need to walk this path. And I think that probably is the difference between a teacher and a mentor. I think. I don't know. That's a tough question.
No, I love that. That was awesome.
But you also have to do both, and that's important. There's times when you have to be like, look, I just need to tell you information. And then there's other times where you need, like, I need to show you how to learn information for yourself. And those are two different things.
And also, right. And with both, you're developing your own voice. I mean, especially with the door part, you're kind of forced. Like, you have to really, truly dip into your authentic self.
You have to, right? I mean, you can't exist just being a parrot. You know, parrots. I mean, you can, like, there's plenty of people that do, but like, not if to I don't know. I like a lot of times people ask, like, what's the meaning of life? And honestly, or what's the secret? What's the, whatever that question is. And to me, the most important thing I think for anybody is curiosity. Curiosity and enthusiasm will take you so far, because when you are curious about anything, or in my case, everything, it just leads to places. It leads to questions being asked, and it leads to other journeys taken, journeys of sort of exploration and discovery. And that's what I want to sort of like, show people. The thing that I love about baking, the thing I love about this is that baking is it's the kind of thing where you can never have baked anything in your life, get a recipe for a chocolate chip cookie and bake it and make a perfectly decent chocolate chip cookie, and then you can spend the rest of your life getting better at it. The rest of your life. And you think that when you're a kid, there's just this, you're going to hit this point. There's this point that you hit that's like, okay, cool, now I got it. Now I'm a chef, right? Or now I'm a master. Now I'm whatever it is. And then the older I get, the longer I do this, the more I realize that I am never, ever, ever going to know everything there is to know about baking. Nobody is. There's so much to know. And I'm never going to get bored, because there's always something new to learn. And you're a student your entire life. I've never made halva before. That's my first one.
I mean, it's pretty fucking fantastic.
It could be better. It's good. I love it, but it definitely needs some salt.
Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe if you obviously liked what you heard, liked what you saw. And obviously we have a slew of other episodes, from audio only to now visual to now video, on YouTube, on Spotify, on iTunes, wherever you listen, wherever you watch Restaurant Fiction. All right, so if you want to know all things Duff, I mean, he's out there. He's on the socials. He's on the Food Network. Just IMDb him as well. I mean, I think he's on Goldbelly, or his products are on Goldbelly. I mean, he's out there. He is a marvelous, magnificent human being. Please, please, please support all the great things, all the great projects, all the great television he does and is doing consistently, constantly, and continuously. That was a lot of C's. Anyway, as for me with Restaurant Fiction, like I said, please like and subscribe. Also, you could hit me up, monis@restaurantfiction.com. We'd love to hear from you if there is a fictional restaurant, bar, and club in TV and film that we have not yet said, not yet reviewed, or a guest you would like to see, a filmmaker, a creative, a celebrity chef. Please let us know. We will get him or her, they on. Yeah. All right. That's enough. Remember, everyone, keep it real, keep it fresh, and keep it on the flip side. Fade in. Cut two.
Exterior. Interior.
Restaurant?
Bar. Club.
Day.
Night.
Action.